Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Y buen camino.
Buen camino.
Bienvenido a Día 4. So this is day 4. And we are departing from Pontevedra.
There's cool lights on the ground.
Cool lights on the ground to light our way. So we're heading to
Caldas de Rey,
Caldas de Reis,
which is one of our longest hikes we're having so far today.
Yeah, it's 22 or 23 kilometers, something like that.
And I have to tell you, I'm really feeling it this morning, so more than I have in the last 3 days. So we're on day 4. It's going to be a great day. We have 10 towns that we're going through today, and
it's supposed to rain.
It's supposed to rain, and
we're going to rain all day.
Easy. Steven's in it for the race today. I'm in it just so that I can survive it today.
No, so we're both in for survival.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be back. Tell you what, are you looking for signs?
Right there.
Where? Oh. That convent is the prettiest thing I've seen so far. This way.
This way. They have concerts here. Although now with Spain having increased Delta variants, I think they're becoming much more inclined to not do outdoor activities. Stephen's pointing at these. He wants me to show you.
Red flowers against stone walls. Prettiest thing on the planet.
It is very pretty.
Aside from Gina.
Oh, aren't you sweet?
We thought we had dinner dialed in. Our first 2 nights in Spain, we ate at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, went to bed too late. The next night, we found a place and ate dinner early. That was good. Last night, we had corn nuts and cookies.
I did not eat anything actually, so don't put me into that category.
I had corn nuts and cookies, and she had nothing.
Because it was 9 o'clock. We didn't want to go out and walk again. And so I think we just kind of said, well, what do we have in our backpacks? So yours truly is actually quite hungry. So I'm looking forward to the pastries this morning that we can get, although we got an early start, so nothing is open yet. So I'm guessing at like 8:30 or 9 o'clock, we'll be getting our usual pastries. So I joined a Facebook group about 2 months ago, and we started getting ready for the Camino. And yesterday on one of the feeds, somebody had asked if they had heard there weren't a lot of Americans walking on the Camino, and if it was because they were fearful of COVID and what was going on in the world. Actually, quite a few people responded back saying that they were scheduled to come in September. Some said they were posting it and coming in 2022, mostly because they didn't want to walk the Camino with masks on. So I get that, and we actually don't walk with masks because we're far enough away from everybody. But when we get into the towns, we absolutely wear our masks. So it's not like you have to hike the 15 kilometers a day with a mask on. It's not that kind of thing. But you do have to be respectful of what the government rules are right now. And everyone has been very, very good about wearing their masks. My first time in northern Spain, there have been some really cool observations that I've noticed about Spaniards. Number one, Spaniards take masking very seriously, and everybody wears their mask. Number two, siestas are a real thing. They absolutely take siestas. Although, something I read recently was that only 60% of Spaniards actually take advantage of the siestas. Most of them do not, but the businesses do in fact close from 2 to 5. And I'm saying like they go and take a nap. It's not like they just close their shops. Like people literally go, they go home, they come back at 5 o'clock. Number 3 is fashion. Amazing fashion. People know how to dress here in Spain. We stand out just a little bit because we're not quite so fashion conscious here. At least Stephen and I are not. Case in point.
It's supposed to be raining all day today, so I was gonna wear my swimsuit.
And let me point out that in one of the little sentences at the bottom of the fashion is, don't wear your swim trunks unless you're at the beach. Spaniards are not fond of that.
Well, swim trunks and flip-flops.
Yeah, so fortunately he's wearing hiking boots and swim trunks, so I'm sure he can get away with it.
And it turns out, looks like it's not even gonna rain today.
Well, more to be revealed on that because things change. Number 4. Oh, they love talking. They love being in community with people. They sit for hours and hours at tables and they just talk and they drink and they eat tapas and they just seem so relaxed. It's like they don't have any cares in the world. And then the last one was, oh, they love their food and alcohol. So here in Spain, the Spaniards drink out of sort of a recreation or an enjoyment. And they always have tapas, free mind you, that comes to the table when you drink because you're supposed to eat and drink at the same time. So those are some of my few observations that I've noticed in the few days that I've been in Spain, or at least in northern Spain. I think everywhere you go in this country, just like the US, things are going to be different.
We are slowly but surely being hypnotized by the swinging pendulum-like bag on the gentleman in front of us. So are those steps meant for climbing? Is that what the little platforms are on the light posts? Let us know. I'm gonna have to go back to the grocery store, Ruiz, the one that we always go to, and record the name of this apple. These are the most delicious apples in the world. I'm certain of it. It's so juicy, you can almost squeeze the apple juice out of it. It's, I've never had an apple this delicious.
It's also because he's hungry, so I don't know if he'd feel the same way.
No, it's that good.
Okay, well, I will go with that. It was a very tasty apple.
Yeah. The hypnosis continues. Even more severely than before. Does he even know? What are these delicious looking vegetables? Please send us a comment and let us know.
And Mario.
You would think he would feel that and want to make it stop.
It's not that interesting.
If you saw the previous video where my bag did not arrive with all of the good stuff in it, it did arrive ultimately. So we were able to contact the people with a lot of good help. They did bring it not too much later, and all was well and right with the world. World full of very good people.
Yeah, this service thing is it's a game changer.
Game changer.
For me anyway. Seriously. If you pass and you're videotaping telephone poles, they're going to think you're crazy.
So now I've decided that those aren't for climbing. Those aren't little steps for little people to climb.
They're like at an angle.
Yeah, but that's so it doesn't catch water, I bet.
I don't think so.
So I am thinking now that they're just to reduce weight overall, since those things are concrete, so you don't have the extra weight that you would have if it was totally full. But those are in there to stability and support. I don't know.
Look at all that bread.
What?
Just take one of those.
Where? Oh.
I didn't mean that. We shouldn't take it. You should never take food that belongs to somebody else.
We have learned that just straight up bread is
Nectar of the gods.
fantastic, yes, way to get you from point A to point B. Our bread, not someone else's from the
Well,
deck.
we could try theirs too. See what happens.
This is part of the Roman road. That's what that last sign indicated. Gina has researched this, and she's going to enlighten us.
No, I'm not going to enlighten you. All I can tell you is that this particular Camino, which was actually the Camino de Português, is where St. James, which is Santiago is the Spanish name for James. He was one of the disciples, and he was beheaded by Pontius Pilate. He came to Galicia to convert the Moors into being Christians, and this became a very big part of his area of where he tried to do biblical teachings. And when he was killed, his body was brought back here, and his remains were actually identified and then carried up to Santiago, where they built the church for his body. So the church was built for St. James, and this also happened to be the same route that the Romans would take to go up to Galicia. So the pilgrims would make pilgrimage for all over Europe to see the body of St. James and to be cleansed of their sins, is what they said. That's what the purpose of the pilgrimages were back then. People would walk for hundreds of miles to be cleansed of their sins and to be at the base of the tomb of Santiago. So wherever you see those Roman markers on the trail is also where they had Roman roads at the same time.
Yeah, so like 10 years ago, we watched the movie The Way, which was directed, maybe even written by Emilio Estevez, and starred his dad. Yeah, and he was in it for a small part, and it was about his dad taking the way for a very specific reason involving his son, who was played by Emilio Estevez. So that just kind of laid the backdrop to us for the hike of the Camino de Santiago, really as a pilgrimage, which is officially what it was in the movie. There are many different paths that you can take that ultimately coalesce at the Cathedral of Santiago. And even on the one that we're taking, you could take the coastal route or through the interior. And so when we watched that movie, it was vast, rural areas, amazing countrysides. This one is different because of the path that we have chosen is going through these small towns. Like right now, we're outside of the towns and very pretty farm fields. But depending upon what you would like to see, there is a way for you to see it.
Pulpo.
¿Qué es pulpo? Ah.
We're not there yet, but we're eating our pan, so no problem. No te preocupes. Más pan.
We talked to a couple of Americans who started in Porto, in Portugal, and a lot of the early part of that stage is all cobblestones. And so know that before you go, because that can do a real number on your joints and your ankles. But a lot of people like to start in Porto or Lisbon for the start of the Portuguese way, which they say is the way that his body, St. James' body, was carried up to Santiago for the cathedral, because the cathedral again was built for his internment. So This is kind of more of the classic way to go, but the more beautiful way that people talk about is the French way.
Yes. Venga con nosotros. ¿Cómo se llama? Hasta luego.
This is Gina being punchy at 12 miles. So, are we at 12 miles?
12.69.
12.69 miles. Mind you, I can't feel my feet. Something down there is moving me forward, but I'm not sure if it's my feet. So, and it's also very important that you're supposed to stop every once in a while, but I promise you, once you start again, you feel like Stephen and I kind of equate it to those people that got covered in volcanic ash in Pompeii, where your body becomes like a rock. So just be prepared that if you're doing a walk like this and you take a break, that you will feel very stiff moments.
If you did not train.
Yes, and we did not train.
If you trained, it would probably be easy.
That's right. If you train, and I think that's true, but I still think I would feel sore. In planning for the Camino, we had made the intention of carrying our big backpacks like we talked in the last video. And what I'm learning more and more is how unnecessary it is to bring all that stuff. Really, all you need is your raincoat, a pair of sandals, and an extra pair of socks, and possibly something to cover your backpack. And maybe some food.
If you're okay with paying the money, because you have to pay to get somebody to transport your stuff. Now ours was €30 for a bag to transport it all of our 6
locations
days.
For 6 locations, and there are other transports as well.
Yes.
The reason why I like doing the transport, in addition to the fact that it helps me walk, is because you're giving money back into the local economy, and that's really important.
Yep, we just can't tell you how much it would cost if you were doing the full Camino to have them do that every one of those days. You know, I don't know if you would just multiply that out per day.
Yeah, and I believe there's like 18 or 19 stages to the Camino, so whatever that is multiplied by whatever we did for 6. So it's definitely an investment, but it's worth it, because when you do these long days like we're doing today, whew, let me tell you, I just don't think I would have. I think there's signs everywhere that show you that you can grab a taxi, which I think I probably would have done. See, here, look, you can call a taxi service if you find yourself not able to complete the Camino. So there you have it. The other thing that's cool is that we can stop whenever we want to. There's no need to be at the final destination by a certain time.
Because it just feels good to be here.
I'm okay eating a bugle after walking 15 and a half miles today.
Yeah. Oh, a little pizza for lunch after a nice walk.
We don't know what these are, so we're going to try them anyway because they look fantastic. So this one, obviously, anything that looks like it has white cream in it must be delicious.
Or chocolatey cream. Uh-oh. Did that not happen to you?
No. No. That's amazing.
How do you do that? Are you supposed to eat it all in one bite?
I guess so.
That's the view out of our hostel window at the completion of day 4 on the Camino. It was a great day. It was this thing is the slowest set of bells. It takes half the day to just finish the 6 o'clock ringing. I've totally forgot what I was gonna say. It was the longest day by far. So we did, including a little bit of walking around after we got here, 18 and a half miles. And but it was really pretty. Lots of farmland that we went through today. We have 2 days left, and I think those 2 days might even be a little bit longer than what we have done today. So thanks very much for watching. Click that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you will. Please, any questions you have, leave them in the comments because we would love to give you the answer if we know them straight off the bat. If not, we'd love to look them up and learn some more ourselves. All right, check back for tomorrow.
After the bridge,
Mm-hmm.
okay, go away,
Yes.
and to the left there is a Peregrine Hotel.
Okay.
No, come.
Oh.